All right. Well, good afternoon once again. My name is Angel Anguiano, and I'm an associate planner with the City of Sacramento's Community Development Department. I'm really excited to be here today to share our city's renewal application for the Pro-Housing Designation Program. For me, this effort highlights the incredible work we've been doing to support and accelerate housing development of all types across the City of Sacramento. Beyond showcasing our progress, this designation also gives us a competitive edge for key state funding opportunities, which is critical as we continue to push for more equitable and sustainable housing solutions. So with that, we can jump right in. So what is the Pro-Housing Designation Program, or PDP for short? Essentially, it's a state program that recognizes and supports cities that go above and beyond state housing laws to accelerate housing production. It was created by the Housing and Community Development, or HCD for short, and the legislature in 2019. The program offers flexibility and technical assistance to jurisdictions that need additional support. Through this process, we have been engaged with HCD staff, and we found the assistance to be quite helpful as we work through our renewal application and the new requirements that I'll touch on in the next couple slides. I also want to take this a moment to recognize and give kudos to my colleagues here at the city who led the original application effort. Thanks to their work, Sacramento became the first jurisdiction in the state to receive the Pro-Housing Designation back in February 10th, 2022. That's a major accomplishment and something we're proud to build on today. The city initially applied under the emergency regulations, and on January 2nd, 2024, permanent regulations were released. Our current designation expires on January 1st, 2026, and we will be applying under the new permanent regulations. So now let's take a closer look at why the City of Sacramento's PDP is significant. Why should we be pro-housing? Maintaining our pro-housing designation is crucial for competitiveness and state funding programs. Benefits include priority processing and additional funding points for various grant programs, such as those listed on the screen, which help the city build more affordable housing and transportation infrastructure. We also remain eligible to apply for the Pro-Housing Incentive Program, which is a specific pot of funds made available only to pro-housing designated jurisdictions. The application process involves submitting existing and proposed housing policies with supporting documentation. A minimum of one policy per topic area is required. 30 points are needed out of a possible 154 points. HCD has 60 days to review our application, and the proposed policies must be completed within 2 years of the application submittal. The designation expires 3 years from the January 1st following the award date. And the application consists of several components labeled as separate appendices. And I'll begin to break those down in the next slide. So the application consists of 7 appendices listed here on the screen. Appendix 1 is the formal resolution for the Pro-Housing Designation Program. Appendix 2 is the proposed policy completion schedule. Appendix 3 is a self-scoring sheet and sample self-scoring sheet. Appendix 4 is the examples of pro-housing policies with enhancement factors, and Appendix 5 is the homeless encampment template. Appendix 6 is the diligent public participation checklist. And lastly, Appendix 7 is the additional information and supporting documentation. The bolded items on the screen are those that we have posted for public input on our city website. And today we will walk through the more substantive part of the application. The main part of the application is found in Appendix 3, the project proposal scoring sheet, and this is how it works. The scoring sheet is divided into 4 categories. The first category 1 is favorable zoning and land use, and there's 21 points possible there. Category 2 is acceleration of housing production timeframes, and there's 21 possible points there. Category 3 is the reduction of construction and development costs, 12 possible points there. And category 4 is providing financial subsidies, which provides 20 possible points. On top of the base points for each category, there are enhancement factors that can be added for an additional 1 or 2 points per policy. And I'll walk through some examples of policies that HCD is looking for under each of these categories. So I'll start off with category 1, that being the favorable zoning and land use. Examples of policies under this category include policy 1B, which is permitting missing middle housing, that being duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. Policy 1F, that be eliminating minimum parking requirements, and that allows for 3 points. And policy 1H, which is a zoning for residential, is to allow for residential or mixed uses in non-residential zones, and that allows for 1 point. Category 2 is for accelerating housing production timeframes. Examples under this category include establishing a ministerial approval process for multiple housing types, streamlined CEQA analysis and certification of plans, and policy 2E, absence or elimination of public hearings for projects consistent with zoning and general plan. All right, category 3, that is for reducing construction and development costs. Examples under category 3 include waiver or reduction of development impact fees for affordable housing, less restrictive requirements for accessory dwelling units, and measures to reduce costs for transportation-related infrastructure. And lastly, category 4, providing financial subsidies. Examples under this category include establishing local or regional housing trust funds, preserving assisted units at risk of conversion to market rate, and providing subsidies for housing affordable to low-income households. And just to summarize that, the policies that I've shown here are not a complete list. These are just some of the policies that we are highlighting for today's discussion. And the enhancement factors. So applicants can also seek enhancement points to any one policy. Only 1 enhancement point per policy is allowed. Enhancements range from unified strategies to actions that affirmatively further fair housing. And I'll go over any example to see how these enhancement factors can be used. So we'll take a category 1 project example. So for example, we achieved policy 1B through the missing middle housing interim ordinance. And our policy response, as shown on the screen, allows for us to respond to that policy description. And so we were also able to take advantage of enhancement factor 1 because this policy supports efficient land use, public transportation, and housing affordability, gaining us an additional 2 points for this specific policy in category 1. All right. Appendix 5 is the homeless encampment template. As I previously mentioned, HCD adopted permanent regulations in January 2024, which includes a new component referred to as the encampment template. This section requires applicants to describe how they conform to the best practices outlined by the United States Interagency Council of Homelessness 7 principles for addressing encampments. The 7 principles for addressing encampments include establishing a cross-agency multi-sector response, engaging encampment residents to develop solutions, conducting coordinated outreach, addressing basic needs and providing storage, ensuring access to shelter and housing options, developing pathways to permanent housing and support, and lastly, planning for site closure after encampments are closed. The city's response to each of these principles are currently available on our Prohousing Designation webpage under the Appendix 5 and supporting documents. So just to walk you through, Appendix 7 is the table of contents and supporting documents. So as part of our application, we must provide supporting documentation. So on the Prohousing Designation webpage, you can find a link to Appendix 7, table of contents supporting documentation as shown on the screen, outlined in red. Once selected, a document will open with all of the documents referenced in Appendix 3. Once you open up that link, a table of contents is included that references the page numbers where each listed supporting document can be found. Public participation is essential to our process, and here's our plan to engage the community. So we will be showcasing the project at pop-ups, at community events. We will be sending out flyers with QR codes, the city website, at local coffee shops, community boards. We also have an email newsletter, and we will have a city council meeting on July 29th, which will be a consent, and we will invite public participation at that time also. And in terms of next steps, as I mentioned, city council meeting on consent item on July 29th, 2025. The deadline for public comments is August 15th, 2025. We plan to submit to the application to HCD in the fall, and we aim to receive renewal designation prior to the current designation expiry. So with that, that concludes my presentation. On the screen is my contact information if you have any further questions, but thank you. Thank you for your time.